This thing is so weird. Guys, welcome to the first episode of Let's Have a Chat at 10 p.m. in front of some pizza. Today we're here with Philip Blanc. Philip.
Hey guys. I'm not sure how I got here, but cheers.
Cheers. 10 things you would do. And how would you do them? And why?
I think that's a very loaded question, first of all. I don't even know where I'm going to be in 2 months. I'm going to be traveling to Thailand with very good friends.
That's nice.
Building a poker-focused brand, or also lifestyle-focused brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's one to start off. Building a brand. Being around good people in my life. That's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting new people, hopefully during this trip, because meeting new people can be very beneficial in terms of business, but personal stuff. And I think just meeting different people in different cultures can have a lot of impact. Even if it's like, I had conversations with people in a pool in Malta randomly that was working for a client, and I had a 2-hour conversation, and that 2-hour conversation shaped my life for 4 years, I think. Yeah, so meeting new people. 3. Well, trying new things.
I will try parachuting.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought of it, but I don't know, I'm terrified of the thought of it. Like, I really want to do it. And if you asked me like 3 years ago, I would have said, yeah, let's go do it, like straight away. I would have even thought about it. Yeah, I would have not even thought about it like twice.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I feel like if I think about it, like I get terrified.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something I will do. Like I want to do. I am scared of roller coaster.
I was about to ask that.
I don't know why. I never ever, like I don't have the courage to go on them. Like I'm just scared. Like I'm scared of very few things. This is one of them. It's like, second thing I'm scared of. But like, it's not like important fear. So like, it's like, okay, fear. I'm scared of spiders.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like spiders. Like, zero.
Understandable. I'm going to Thailand. We have very big Airbnbs next to the jungle. So it's not only going to be spiders, I'm also going to see some snakes. So
I'm actually okay with snakes. I rather like see a snake than a spider. I don't know why.
fair. I mean, I'm not sure that it's both not great, obviously, I think. But yeah, I think snakes might be a bit more predictable. They're not as quick and jumpy and stuff.
You know something I will do? I really, really want to do before I die? Actually going to do a safari in Africa.
Okay.
I'm actually like wishing to do this. I think like even just 2 months there by myself.
And yourself as well.
Yeah, I don't want anyone. Like I want it by myself, yeah. I think it's such a great experience. It will be such a nice experience.
Get some rangers though, so you want...
I mean, obviously, obviously.
Or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want to go like with friends or family, like just solo trip.
Do you enjoy traveling alone?
Yeah, I don't mind. It depends also why you travel. Like, obviously, in this case scenario, to go to Africa would be like discovering yourself, like being by yourself, like loving yourself, and I think it will be interesting.
Yeah, but maybe traveling alone and actually enjoying it. Like maybe that's the main objective. But we'll see. I guess the next few months, 6 months, are going to be traveling anyway. So not sure how much privacy traveling I'll be getting there. But sounds like an interesting challenge, especially after COVID and after going through not traveling at all and kind of realizing.
Of course.
We have a lot of privilege in our life. Like it's actually insane how much for granted we took everything. Maybe that's another one. Making sure I don't take things for granted. It's,
That's a nice one.
I lost track. 6 or 7.
I will copy this one too from you, because actually there was this period where I really didn't appreciate anything, and I'm the kind of person. I mean, I've always been like this. Every small thing that like I accomplished, I used to always like appreciate it so much and like be super happy about it and like enthusiastic. But I had this period where I was like, yeah, okay, cool, but I wasn't appreciating it. And now, like I'm finally like back to it, and I want to keep it. So I'll probably like say keep appreciating what you have, what you do, because it's like.
If I write a big invoice, it's not great for me. Like I don't feel anything. If I get feedback from friends or people that I really care about, or strangers or family, I don't really care about it.
Really?
No, doesn't really do anything. For me. And then is the question, like, what's the actual goal, right? If you work and you don't get anything, if you don't really like obviously I care about money, but more so to just be free and not have
Of
to
course.
work. But there's, like, I'm not super materialistic, I don't buy anything. I just want to put myself in a position where I can live my life in a way where I enjoy my daily life.
Which is the best.
I think so as well. But it's very hard for me to find any kind of rewarding feeling, which is kind of connected to taking things or appreciating things. But I'm not unappreciative, but I'm also maybe not appreciating it as much as I should.
Personally, what motivates me, like actually what I appreciate in my work, is the small thing that I accomplish. So I don't know, I remember at the time when I started social media, and yeah, I never thought of like making it like as my career. I was just, why not? Like, it happened for fun, why not? And then I received this brand deal, which this huge company like actually contacted me and be like, we saw your TikToks, we'd like to collaborate with you.
That's cool.
I was like, and it was my first time, so like I didn't know how it worked. Like I was completely like, I was like, oh my god, mom, look, like my mom knows everything, she's my best friend. I was like, look, this brand contacted me, like how is it gonna be? Or even getting signed as an actress, like I was so happy after like it's been a dream for like ages. I was so
good
happy.
that it's happening still as well.
Yeah.
There's so much more to come.
And I love being in the process. I think being in the process is the best thing ever in anything.
I think actually the goal is not as important at all. Like, it's pretty cliche, right, in terms of the journey is what is mattering the most. If the journey on the way is pleasant, why not?
100%. I agree. Something I will do, probably painting. If you ask me like out of nowhere, I've always liked a lot, like drawing and painting. I think it's super, super nice. And I used to go crazy when I was a kid about it. Like I used to draw a lot and I was very good at it too. But then I stopped. And it's not because of something, just because I don't really have time for it. So if I would have time, then I'll probably draw again. Or paint, yeah.
That's such an interesting thing in general. If I will have time.
Yeah.
It's just like saying, I don't have time for working out or whatever. It's probably more so.
No, but because this is just a hobby. And I already have 5 hobbies that like are my job as well.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I cannot have like 10 different hobbies. Like,
I mean,
I cannot
you
split
could.
myself, duplicate myself. If I could, like, life would be easy, but I can't. So, yeah.
It's interesting because like we've met like 4 times now, I think.
Yeah.
And had some conversations on the side, and the amount of stuff that you have planned and that you are doing, and the amount of what you're sharing on social is such a big difference.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
there's so much more, and obviously people oftentimes don't realize how much work goes into that scene in general.
100%.
Even getting here, setting up, thinking about stuff, shooting TikToks 2 hours prior, which is
Content,
maybe 2
planning,
posts.
so much stuff.
It's
So
like-
much in the behind the scenes.
PR, social media, editing, branding, emails. Like,
Takes
there's
a lot.
So much rather than just being on TikTok and
It's
dancing
true.
and doing some trends or whatever.
But I don't know, the thing is, I don't share a lot on social media. First, it's not like I don't want, but I don't like talking a lot and not having anything done. I rather do facts first and then talk. I don't know, I think career-wise, I'm not very like open to share my objectives in like career-wise.
Why not?
I don't know. I tell them to very few people. Like I don't know. My mom knows them because she's my best friend. She knows everything about me.
She should.
But yeah, even friends, like they know what I want to do, but they don't know the specifics behind it, like my plans in the long terms or like short terms. Yeah, I don't know why. It feels right.
I mean, I don't have the impression that you have any doubts about anything, but to some extent for some people, they will probably not talk about stuff so they have more room and they don't have any type of public failure, because obviously on social media, if you share a lot of stuff. And then
Yeah,
you-
of course. No, I'm not really bothered by that. For
I
the
don't
simple
think so.
fact, yeah, no, just because like I know what I'm doing. Like,
Yeah.
if I succeed, cool. If I don't, amen. What am I supposed to do? Like, I tried.
And
I either
it's a
try
journey,
again
it's
or
not-
like, or do something else. No, I don't care about that at all. But it's interesting the point that you made, because actually I just bought a book called The Secret, which is about the law of attraction, which has a similar concept of when you want to do something and you kind of manifest it. So you say it like you put in your head, yes, I'm gonna do that. It's like basically this concept is like it's gonna come around if you stay with a positive mindset, so you don't focus on the negative things, etc., etc.
Heard about that before, yeah.
For example, in my room, I have like I like to be motivated a lot, and I'm motivated by a lot of different things. But sometimes, as everyone else, I get like lazy. So in my bedroom, I actually have next to my bed like 5 or 7 quotes where I like, for example, make it happen now, not tomorrow, or make it happen, shock everyone. This kind of like, they like get me, that I know this kind of specific quotes, like I read them and I'm like, okay. And even if I don't read them, like even walking around out from my bedroom, automatically my brain still sees them. So even if I don't think about it, in the back of my brain there is this like quote of like, make it happen now.
It's very interesting how it works. Like I've never experienced that myself, but I see it in small things like keeping my table clean or whatever, so I can just think straight and nothing is distracting. So I feel like having these kind of boundaries where you can set yourself up to a positive mindset over a full day or weeks or months, like that's gonna have a lot of impact. So
for sure. But I think, okay, this is my true opinion. I think everyone, like even if you have a positive mindset, shit happens.
Sure.
Like bad things happen. The truth is, it depends how you handle them. Because you can stay there, be like, okay, it happened, it's not in my control anymore. What can I do to change it, to make it better, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Or you can stay there just focusing on the problem and just thinking about it and just ruin your mood, ruin your day, ruin your week and your month.
I think it goes the other way as well, in terms of if you think about the most successful businesses ever, or even this food probably came by Uber Eats.
I think so, delivery,
There was cab drivers were a thing before, like a cab business. These ideas were a thing before, maybe not specifically food delivery in that extent, because that's probably quite new. But my point is, it's not the idea oftentimes, it's the execution. And it's the same way when things go bad, right? You could have a great idea and you need great execution, but you could also have a shitty situation that 100%. You need great execution for to actually save yourself. So yeah, very fair point.
100%. No, but I agree. I think mindset is crucial. So we were saying,
we were talking about positive mindsets and how they can impact your life.
Yes, I think it makes a huge difference how you perceive things, but it's mostly how you react to them. Because when you understand like there's nothing you can do because something happened and you don't have control over it, you need to move on, whatever it is. Career-wise, friendship, relationships, like anything at all, school, like then and just think, okay, what can I control? The way I'm reacting towards.
I guess it's most of the small stuff as well. Even if you meet new people, the way you introduce yourself or the way you come across
makes a huge difference.
Soft skills or networking. I mean,
it's a huge difference. Don't tell me about it.
I was just about to say, not gonna quote you there, but I'm not gonna tell you about it. But networking is insane.
It is. I do networking every single day. Just yesterday, actually, I attended to a cryptocurrency event.
I saw this stuff.
I met a couple of CEOs from Bitcoin startup companies and stuff like this, which was quite interesting. And I met quite a few like interesting people, which I might work with some of them. Actually, a little update on that too. I've always realized how important is networking in every area. I thought that it was like most importantly in the creative industry. Like, I don't know, at the beginning when I started modeling, for example, I really didn't go to paid jobs at the beginning. Okay. And I mean, I do modeling because I like it, just because it's a hobby for me. Like, I don't do it for money. I don't do it because I want to be the next Gigi Hadid. I just do it because I like it. I like it. Why not? Okay. So even when at the beginning I was starting out, I didn't have portfolio, I didn't have anything, and they asked me, "Come, we want to do a show." I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay, I'm going." And actually found out so many things I had no idea about. Even stupid things like, for example, there are these apps for models only, where you need to be signed, so they check with the agency.
Nice.
They're actually like super professional, and you can eat outside in the big cities like New York, London, Milan, etc., for free.
Okay.
Hotel stays for free, services like beauty services, etc., for free, which I never knew. Like if I didn't go to these meetings, these jobs for free, I would have never ever found it out. And by networking, I've met so many people, interesting people. Like now we're all friends, but like obviously at the beginning, like you're not friends, but yeah. So it's quite interesting actually. Like I think it's super useful networking, like career-wise, also for yourself, like confronting yourself with people, especially in your industry or not in your industry, makes a huge difference. Like I think be careful who you surround yourself with. Makes a huge impact.
I agree. All right, so I met some guy 5 years ago in a hotel lobby that was part of an event. And a year later, or like not half a year later, the same client hosted another event in Vegas, and we missed that very catastrophic shooting by like 10 minutes. It's like a attack kind of thing. And we went for a walk the next day just to explore the strip once because it was like a 130-hour week. I at least wanted to see the strip. I ended up walking 90 kilometers, whatever it is in miles or whatever. It's a lot. And I didn't leave the hotel before. It was just in the hotel, in the mall, and between casino and hotel. So an insane amount. And I think that walk that I had with him the day after was like the foundation of our friendship. And now I'm building a business with him, and I've been living with him for like 6 weeks now.
See, would you have said that?
It was that walk in Vegas, which is insane to think about.
It's actually insane. It's actually insane if I think about it. Like the people I met in the past 3 weeks. Like, honestly, I don't even know where to start. Starting from the fashion week, as I told you, because that was the week where everything started to be so busy. And I met like a person after another every single day.
I remember that
every
call
single day. Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you remember? I was like, look, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, I just don't have time. Like, so let's make it quick. So what do you do?
It was super random. Like, we just...
like, are you free now? It's 11 p.m.
Want to shoot something next week? It actually comes together in terms of realizing a lot of these topics that we talked about now. Oftentimes opportunities come around.
That's
and
true.
I think this whole luck thing is more so getting yourself ready to profit off opportunities when they come around. So you have to just be very aware, progress,
100%.
do a bunch of different things, and then just hope whenever an opportunity comes around that you then can capitalize on them.
For sure.
That's a very
But also create them. Like, if there is an event, like whatever it is, even if you work for free, do it. Like, do it. You don't know who you might meet. You don't know the skills you might learn.
For sure.
Like, I learned Premiere Pro in a couple of days. Like, I don't even, like, do you think I was going to learn Premiere Pro? I probably don't think
You're like the first person ever. But what editing software are you using? And I said like 4 links and tutorials, and like I spent 20 minutes.
But I didn't look at any tutorial actually. The only one that I searched that at the end I didn't use was the one of smoothing the face, blurring like the fine lines, and at the end I didn't use it. So I was like, okay,
I'm not sure if I liked it, or how did you learn all that without tutorials? Is my next question in that time. Like that
I was exploring. I was like just looking and then exploring. Obviously, I spent like 2 days just for editing one video, 5 minutes, but I did it. So
it's very interesting to see for someone that has been editing so many videos in like TikTok and whatever, like different softwares. Probably also why TikTok is so big now, because it enables not only like Instagram and Twitter and these apps were around before, and you were able to tweet or post some pictures.
Yeah.
But TikTok actually gave people the opportunity to be creators.
Very.
Rather than, oh, this is my fancy life on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then the culture is also different in terms of people don't really give a damn. They just do whatever, and they are very transparent, and maybe too transparent. Like this whole some people on this app are a bit too comfortable. Like,
it's true, but they don't care. On TikTok is a different, but like whatever. It's TikTok. Like no one cares. It's great.
No.
I think like TikTok is on another levels for sure, 100%. But first, it gives you creativity. Like there is like you can do whatever you want. Second, as you said, editing up itself, it's crazy. You don't have to wait for anything. 15 seconds, you post it. That's it. End of the day. Even if I'm not gonna lie, as a content creator, even TikTok, as much as it can be easy, like it depends from which perspective you look at it. As a content creator, it still takes time.
For sure.
But because you need to plan the content, you do it like a couple of times because you want to make sure it's great. Whether if you're just a user, then it's even better because at the end of the day, You do it for yourself, for your friends, like, who cares? Yeah.
So if you are creative, that is great in terms of creating content. While
Yeah, TikTok is for creative people.
Through intuition, like people get rewarded, and also you're so much more easy to discover on TikTok compared to
100% compared to other platforms, but that's the problem with the other platforms. Obviously, everyone wants to monetize on it, which I get. But for example, when you put 10,000 advertising like ads, that's already when you lost me, and that's YouTube. Let's be honest. Facebook, it became for old people. There's just my mom on there. There's no one else. Like, even my dad moved to Instagram and TikTok. My mom remained on Facebook.
Like Instagram is the new Facebook almost. Like
almost the new, yes. Instagram, the problem with Instagram is that because first, now is, even if they put the reels, it's still not going to be the same. It will never be the same.
I agree.
Because on Instagram, everyone wants to be like perfectionist. So everyone wants to like look perfect, amazing, look at what I do, look what you don't have. On TikTok, no one cares. Like you can be even like, I don't know, recording just in front of a whiteboard, no one cares, like no one.
Yeah. It's very interesting how culture is different there. Just
completely.
The other week, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, I created a private Instagram, like 25 people, just close friends that I've gotten over the years, like roommates, just people that are very present in my life, and I've shared some very personal stuff on there, and even we had like a burglar the other day in the house, and I didn't really post anything about that on my normal Instagram, but I pretty much posted
a lot on the private one.
It's like 15 stories or whatever. I went really into it. And friends appreciate it, and it's almost like telling a friend a story.
Yeah.
If you are just transparent and doing your thing. But that's not a thing currently. Like Facebook, it's kind of like
anymore.
TikTok is more.
I'm not gonna lie, it's changing a bit too. Yeah. Because when I joined, back then it was at the very beginning of like COVID, and not a lot of people were on it then. I mean, obviously there are people that are like have been even longer, but at the time I also had like Musically, or like 2016 or something, and it was like a completely different vibe. And even at the beginning of COVID, when it was just happening, I could see like the difference of content that I saw in people. Now, there are still like the content creators that like don't care. Even new content creators, like the ones who just start out. But most of them like still want to go on that kind of perfectionism. Similar to Instagram. Like, I don't know, not everyone, but most of them.
The TikTok progress. I also joined like a month before COVID, so I've seen the platform grow and how culture works, especially since it's very important like for my job. Skipped Musically, and I also skipped Snapchat, which is interesting. Downloaded Snapchat once, never used it. But,
I don't go crazy for Snapchat. Like, I know there is a lot of stuff in there too, and they also added the program where if you post videos on there, there is like a specific name for it. Anyway, it's like TikTok's like
program?
Yeah, basically something like that. You get paid for it if you get like a total amount of views, and you also get paid well. But again, because they need creators, so you need to post every day. But because everyone wants to compete with TikTok, which is wrong because they will never win like in terms of videos, because TikTok is strategic. That's the thing. So unless they do something completely different and unique, TikTok is still gonna be here in terms of like shorts and like videos like that.
Now, for example, Facebook invested like $1 billion into a creator fund over like 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Facebook, I guess, is also Instagram, but they're not pushing any type of content.
No.
Interesting though how much money gets put there, but they don't actually make the changes because they still value the ad money over creators.
Yeah. So, especially because they keep changing the algorithm too. So, like, that's the difference, for example, from TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, you can post 3 videos, and you know, like, if your content is good, like, it goes out to the public, even for people who follow you. Whether on Instagram, if you post 1 picture, cool, the same day I'm talking about. You post second picture, no one is gonna see it. Like, if the first picture was seen from 60% of your audience, the second one is going to be seen from 20% of your audience. And if you post a third one, it's going to be seen from like 10% or 5% of your audience.
10 favorite content creators though.
Okay.
And they want to push all 10 of them because I watch them a lot. And I spend more time on the platform. They will make more money if I'm more time on the platform. 100%. They will show me more ads, makes sense.
100%.
But what happens to the other 1900 creators that I've also subscribed to, that I also like because I did subscribe to them?
Yeah, but it means that their content is not engaging enough for you.
Maybe it's
to that point. But when you have, for example, let's say on Instagram, because we were talking about Instagram, you post a picture that, I don't know, gets a lot of engagement compared to your usual. Instagram should push it, so the algorithm should push it towards the explore page.
That's fair, yeah. For
If
sure.
obviously that picture doesn't get any like, doesn't engagement, no one cares about it, then fair enough.
For sure. If you have 100 creators subscribed and all of them are equally great and they all make good content and provide value, if you watch 10 because it's just the first 10 that you discover during that week or that month, they will get pushed.
Yeah.
Then it's very, very hard for the other ones to get pushed as well.
It's true.
Because from the company perspective, it could be if they push creator 11 to 20 to kind of sprinkle some more different content in there, it could actually be the wrong recommendations and people don't actually watch it. And I'm sure they do that to some extent.
Yeah.
Because obviously you still get a lot of discoverability on YouTube as well. So
Yeah.
it does happen. But from their standpoint, they're probably focused on recommending just the best stuff, so you will spend the most time on a platform.
That's also
It
true.
can't be fair if there's so many people creating.
That's also true. But it's unfair towards the other content creator, especially if they're as good as the other ones.
Yeah, I guess.
But I get the point. Yeah, it depends, again, from which perspective.
In the end, I guess your statement is kind of right that you made about TikTok. If you know your content is great, people will see it. So
Yeah.
just having a lot of trial and erroring and mastering your craft.
I mean, what I always say, find, like, why would I follow you? What value are you bringing to the table? What's your niche? Is it comedy? Okay. What makes you stand out from the 10 comedians I'm currently following?
Yeah.
What are you doing differently? Like, you talk about relationships? Okay, I already follow her. Let's talk about should I follow you? Are you talking about family jokes or whatever? Okay, there's the other guy who does. So what makes you different? What makes you unique?
It's a very fair argument, even though at this point there's so many people creating.
Yeah,
Probably
but
not
you
to
can
be
still
completely-
find your own thing. Like, it's not easy. 100% no one says it's easy. But obviously, first you need to try. Second, you need to know it needs to be something that you're actually passionate about. Because if you do it just because why not? For example, I met this girl a few weeks ago, actually in my university. And it's actually a funny story because we were in class, we were at this lecture. And we have to give an exam that's like 2,000 words about any topic.
Okay.
And then a presentation or a video or something next to it. Anyway, we were in class, the lecturer was picking people, be like, what's your idea, etc., etc. And I was just writing my own plan for business. I wasn't really listening because I already know what to write, like, yours is quite easy for me. But it was this girl who said that she does TikTok. So obviously, I work with TikTok, so my attention got there. Now, so from the moment I was like, actually like stood up my head, I was like, okay, wait, what?
Makes sense.
Yeah, she was saying like, I do TikTok, I do fashion. So the lecturer said, okay, you could like make a question regarding fashion, outfits, style. And she was like, yeah, but I don't like it. And he said, what do you mean you don't like it? You post content that you don't like? And she was like, no. Moral of the story is to do what you like. Because if you do something like you post content that you don't even like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
And same is like in work.
for sure.
I think it's super, like, I love what I do. Everything that I do it because I like it. I'm not going to say that I'm lucky because I worked for it.
Which is fair.
So I cannot say I'm lucky that like I get paid to do what I like because I worked hard to get there. So now I'm able to be like, yeah, for my job I do these 5 different things that pay me. I get money out of it, but it doesn't feel like a job. It's a hobby for me.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone started from like somewhere.
For sure.
Yeah, I was a waitress. I did child entertaining for like 2 months. I did marketing assistant when I really didn't want to do it. Did a lot of things. So everyone starts from like somewhere.
For sure. I mean, journeys are very different, but it gives important context as well, right?
100%.
I think there's a filmmaker as well who said if you don't know what you want to do something for 2 months that you really don't want to do.
Yeah, and then you will understand what you want to do. It's so true.
Yeah, that's
It's so true.
Do everything so I don't have to be there. And
Yeah.
that's oftentimes the better motivation than for me, actually, I think it worked.
Because also you understand what you don't want to do. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because you understand, like, when I tried to be a waitress, I suck as a waitress. But, like, it was the worst night of my life, probably. Like, I'm just telling you, the thing with, it basically had a tray with like a lot of beers, empty bottles, but they were like the bottom of the beers.
Okay.
I think it fell like 3 times on the floor in front of this event. It was a huge event. And I was just there like at 16, like holding this tray. And the manager came to me and I was like, and he was like, don't worry, just pick it up, come here. I was like, okay. But like, it was such a horrible night.
I would feel that way today, and I'm not 16 anymore.
No, like, but that's what I understood. I was like, okay, I can't and I don't want to do, but I don't want to be a waitress. Like, I can do waiter, like, I'm not going to do it. So I know that, like, I want to do anything not to get there. So that's the point, basically.
It's very important. Like, for me, it developed in a similar way in terms of, for me, school at some point was just not for me anymore.
You understood, like, that's it.
Was a great student in the beginning, and then kind of the school system in Germany is very bad, a lot of pressure, and then just stopped really caring and found something that I was really passionate about, which was competing in games. And
that's
then
nice.
that developed into a job that led me to the whole network. Like,
but because you were putting a lot of effort and time into it, because if you didn't, you would have not been there.
I progressed, like, it's actually insane, and if you think about it, not to go too specific into the game, but you pretty much had to compete in challenges, so to say, versus AI. And people were so committed to this game that 25 people showed up 5 hours, 6 times a week in the evening to compete versus this AI together, to race versus, so the fastest, whoever beats the AI first, was like world rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And when do you ever have 25 people committed to a hobby on such a high level that also is very related to performance? So if you weren't performing, you couldn't play. You got replaced.
True.
And you had these conversations of, yeah, well, Jeff, you're a good guy and you're fun, but you're not pressing your buttons right. Like, this is not happening.
Like, what are you doing?
it actually was a lot of life experience then, because
of course,
having new applicants trying to get into the group and all these small things,
100%.
probably the better education for business and for life than what I've learned in school. And maybe
it's
even
true.
playing around the system in school.
The experience makes such a huge difference. That's the problem with schools, that like they don't teach you the rest.
Yeah, I think like in the end I finished school to an okay level, went to uni for a couple of semesters, so it worked out okay in the end. But the way I played the system on every edge I could, in terms of having as little attendance as possible, but while still getting okay grades, so I can go to uni.
Yeah.
I think playing the system was actually the better education compared to learning whatever was happening.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you mean.
Also more stressful because I was on my toes 24/7.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. Like sometimes getting off the rails or doing stuff different.
It's true. It's so true. But you need to know what you're doing. That's the thing. Because if you just go like that, no. But because you liked it, so you knew you wanted to go for it.
For sure. I mean,
no.
There was money in it to some extent, especially as a teenager.
It can be a huge motivator, though.
That was very interesting to make money out of your hobby and also
exactly.
the realization of, okay, this is better than any other 9 to 5.
Just working exactly. Not everyone is made to work 9 to 5.
And now I'm able to work 130 hours at an event or build a company with friends while traveling the world, while not counting hours or days or
which
anything.
is the best thing ever.
Which is great. And if you think back 10 years-ish, I would never have guessed that. But it just comes together, right? So, for example, when we're leaving for Thailand, this game that I played, one of the best groups in the world for like 10 years, their guild leader, their leader of the group, is actually joining us on the trip. Like having that full circle moment, or the first time for example, there was a parkour challenge in that game, just going from 1 to B, from A to B, and that creator was the reason why I opened an editing software for the first time. And I won the challenge in theory, but he didn't see my video. And then 4 years later, I meet him in Copenhagen for a client that I worked at an influencer event. I was like, hey,
what's up?
You influenced my life a lot. And this is the challenge that you missed a couple of years back. It's very cool. Like, this is probably the reason why I'm here, because this is why I opened an editing software.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, it would have never happened.
And it's only because I played so much, and it comes back to creators, and I've been telling you should show more of your personality because people connect. I connected to that guy and I cared about him, and I was part of the challenge because I cared about his personality. and it had a lot of impact that you are
That's
not even
nice.
aware of, because oftentimes you don't meet in Copenhagen 4 years later. But
The world
get
is small, like for real. Who would have said ever that you would have met him again?
and you get messages here and there, right? Oh, this is so cool, and you're working so hard, and it's nice to see your motivation.
It's so cool, actually. Like, when I receive these messages, it makes me so happy, so happy. I'm like, for example, just before, actually, like before I met you, like an hour earlier, just this girl texted me like, I saw what you're doing, like you feel you're very independent, I really want to do the same. I'm like, yes, I love that. Yeah, you go, girl. Yes, that's what you have to do. Yeah, like it makes me so happy. Like honestly, no, because that's the thing. I like to inspire people, but I also like to give them value. Like I like to help people, so why not?
For sure. And that's probably one of the biggest values you can get back as well, right? You will never...
And that's a satisfaction, you know, like it makes me happy. I'm like, you see, what I'm doing, it's worth it, like, you know?
Sure.
Like I do it for myself because I like it, but at the same time, if I have also that gratification, it's like something extra. Like, you know, appreciating the small things, I appreciate that a lot.
Better than money or anything else.
It's so true, so true.
Yeah.
So true.
This might be a good note to end on, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so last thing you will do. I don't know, like we think we got 6, but whatever, let's skip to the last one. Last thing I will do, and then
Sure.
we end on this note. Last thing I will do is, you know what? I will eat a chocolate cake.
It's
Like, I don't know, have that, you know what, you have this desire of like eating chocolate? Oh my god, yes. That's what I will do. What about you? Okay, something you will do quickly, like first thought that comes to mind.
I will push myself to socialize even more. I think...
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, this was like the last month was very busy, last 6 weeks were very busy, but the few times that I have socialized were very beneficial in a lot of ways.
That's nice.
I think encouraging myself not only to network in a personal matter, but also in a business one is probably something that I would do and will do.
Well done. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. We need to do it more often. I really like it.
More often?
Yeah, for sure.
Like here?
Or in LA when we meet each other in San Francisco.
Are you sure?
Let's see one.